All right, everyone. I'm going to be talking to AP students about their AP exam and what's expected for the rest of the year. So let's go ahead and go to that AP site that everybody registered for yesterday. Come on, computer. I'm going to pretend I'm Elizabeth Patterson because I have her username and password saved here. So here we have the AP 2D art and design portfolio that she registered for. The introduction, we don't need to worry about that. We need to go to step 2, which is the sustained investigation. This is your exam. This is all 15 slots that are expected of you for the rest of the school year. What is required from you for first semester and for finals is what I'm going to go over today. And we are going to talk about what the judges expect to see. And I'm going to go ahead and show you evidence that they're going to want. So the first tab is images. This is where we're going to load our images. I call these slides or images, okay? It talks to you about the measurements of your artwork. You need to measure your stuff. And here, Miss Patterson, she has stages. So this was her first mind map. Then she revised it some more, and then I told her I didn't like the wood in the background. Could she make this more interesting? And then this is her final piece. So this one has 3 stages of revision. That's good. We want to see proof of practice, revision, and experimentation. So then she's going to list off her materials. I had her capitalize everything because I just thought it looked nicer and list it. I like the word graphite over pencil. I think that is a better term that sounds more professional. Same with pen. I prefer the word ink. Okay? So that's something that I'm just letting you guys know. Now, process is, she wrote, well, I helped her write this. It's got to be no more than 100 characters. So you got to be really direct about what it is that you did and to the point. So we put listed ideas for my investigation. That's what she did with her mind map, right? EQs, the judges are going to know what EQ means. That means essential questions. Did illustrations and collaged into an artistic mind map. So when they look at this image, they understand everything that she did. And then they can zoom in and they can see what she's talking about as a part of her idea, her process. And you can literally see the list. They're going to have huge computer screens to analyze your stuff. Okay? And so she did illustrations, all these little drawings, and this is going to lead her whole sustained investigation for the rest of the year. So that's great. They see revision, they see stages. All right? Now, her second one, I helped her with yesterday. I'm going to try to make this bigger. I don't know why this is in my way. All right. So here we have her before, and it's smaller. Because nobody cares so much about all the details of the before. They care about the after, the final piece. And here you can see that she has these beautiful textures and dimension to the wings. I'm so glad I gave her a hard time about that because, wow, now it comes alive. You guys get mad at me from time to time because I keep pushing you and asking you to revise, but it only benefits and helps you to get the highest scores and to pass the exam. And whether in your special studies or not, that's a part of the process that they ask me to do with you guys to kick it up to the next, level, kick it up a notch. So here you see the before and you see the after. We didn't put a third one here. And if she wanted to change this some more, which Elizabeth, more power to you if you want, we can move this one over here and then she could do an even larger one here. That's okay, but I think it's good the way it is. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get this smaller. I don't know how. Why can't I get smaller? Close. There we go. So now she has 2 done. And I want to read to you her process for this one. It says It's exactly what she did. She photographed a friend, she enlarged, painted background, and collaged painted paper to revise the wings. So that's like the really big revision that she did. And when you open up the image, we saw that. There's a reason we talk about this process to let the judges know what changes and experimentation we made, okay? And then she's going to do number 3, which is her scavenger hunt art project. The before, the after, the revisions. We want to document all of that on your PowerPoint so that we could take screenshots of it and you guys understand now how to fill that out. So the important part that you need to understand is that the first tab is images, but the second tab is written evidence. So I'm going to click the written evidence. A lot of times I think you guys get annoyed with me about certain things that I ask you to do, but it's because they're asking me to tell you this, okay? So I'm going to show you proof. Written responses to prompts about your work are also required in this section. Responses to these prompts are evaluated along with the images that you submit. Most successful responses in terms of assessment are those that are clearly related to the images that you submitted, that directly and completely address the prompts. These are the prompts down here. And that provide evidence of inquiry-based sustained investigation. That's really important. We're showing them evidence through our photographs and our writing. Through practice. Can somebody give me an example of practice?
Using a material you've never used before.
That's more experimentation, I would say.
Sketches,
planning, that's practice, right? So they want to see evidence of that. So they're going to want to see evidence of your sketches, which I've been asking you guys to do. So we're going to need to photograph those and post those on our slideshows too for now on. Because the more we show them of our plans, the better, because they want to see evidence. And then, hello, revision. So when you guys get mad at me that I tell you, oh, you need to work on this and work on that and then document another picture, it's because they expect us to do revisions. They want you to keep adding, keep changing. That is what they expect to see, and they want to see evidence of those stages of experimentation, of different materials, of collaging, of playing, branching out and making it different, changing it. So Miss Patterson's wings before compared to the after, what a difference. And it's scary. We're afraid to make changes, but you got those photographs as backup and as insurance, and this is what the judges want to see. They want to see that evidence that you're not just doing something and then moving on. They care about the process, they care about the practice, they care about the changes. So I'm only pushing you of what they're telling me to do, okay? Now, the responses are not evaluated for spelling, grammar, punctuation. Guess what, guys? I am evaluating you on your spelling, grammar. The punctuation, you can't really do exclamation points or apostrophe S or stuff like that. That's okay. But spelling, got to capitalize your I's. Do not waste your sentences with run-on, like, basic words. Like, be direct, be to the point, and have a lot of meaning in your work, okay? Always press save, by the way. So for this semester, you are required to do this one question here. Identify the questions or inquiry that guided your sustained investigation. So I'm expecting you to write one paragraph right here. A paragraph is 4 to 5 sentences that's explaining your questions or inquiry. This is basically your mind map, people. What it is, what's the story you're going to tell for the rest of the year with your artwork? What are the things you're challenged with? What are your essential questions? What is the meaning behind all of this? in one paragraph. Okay? So this will be expected of you even if you're in special studies. I want to know, identify the questions of inquiry for your sustained investigation. Even though you're not writing this on the exam, I still expect you to submit that. All right. So I'm going to make that something you have to write on your presentation along with we'll put it on this assignment that I just created. Let me see if I can find it here. I'll show you. So the scavenger hunt assignment, not the scavenger hunt. What's the one that we're doing right now, free of choice? Oh, by the way, that was pretty amazing. Let me show you that again. I helped one of the students from last semester, from second period. She had been doing some revisions. She was probably annoyed with me, just like everyone else. That's a part of the process. So, like this student here, Yasmin, this is her first stage. This was her before, this was her after. I told her, you need to do some more revision. So I shrunk this down. I put them side by side, and I told her we're going to do one big one right here. And I told her to put more shading of the skin because it looks a little flat, and to add some pieces of red to it, which is anybody? What does red symbolize?
Complementary color.
Thank you. 2 thumbs up. Complementary colors. So that she's showing that she understands color theory. I also told her that this looked a little scruffy in here, so add some more dimension to the scarf wrapping. There should be some shadows, and I told her to add some shadows under the chin. So that she's showing her best piece at the end, and we're gonna make that nice and big right here, and then voila. She'll get between 90 and 100, and she'll have plenty of revisions, proof of practice, proof of evidence of revising. Got it? So same with this one here. We talked about how she could make a border around this with some red paper, complementary, and do some more development in some of the drawings in here. And then we were going to make that nice and big right here. So at least you understand the stages here. This young lady, she did 2 different series with her playing with her cat. And then we talked about how can we do like one more piece right here to really show a change, a revision. We said things like, I told her you could like tear the paper between these 2 and then collage the torn pieces and make one bigger piece here. Or maybe you get the cat and the cat is like attacking her and there's a bunch of cats everywhere just interacting with her in a funny, weird way. So her relationship with her cat and the different things that happen, we want it to be drastically revised, drastically different, to show proof of revision and practice. Let me see, here's another young man. Here he has his beginning stage. This is his second one. I talked to him about putting darker shadows right in here to help this part pop and adding some highlights, and then we could do a bigger piece right here to really show evidence of revision. This young lady here, this is the one I was talking about. Let me see if I can present this larger. We played around substantially. This was her first piece. I asked her to change the background, that it was kind of boring and roughage up the flaming person. This is about Australia that was burning down. And then here she played with it some more. And then here she took another shot of it and I enhanced it a little bit with Photoshop to get the deep darks to make it feel burnt. And then here it's really burnt. And we did this in Photoshop. And then this, we kind of like inversed it and played with the colors. So, man, they can't say she didn't revise this and she didn't experiment. She experimented like crazy. You got it? So this is a whole process, and we took a whole screenshot of this, and that's what she's turning in for her slide. They can't say that she didn't challenge herself to experiment and revise. Okay, I'm trying to get out of this. How do I get out? So those are some examples that I hope help you. And now I'm going to work with you guys to give you feedback about your pieces from the last assignment that was turned in. I'm also going to create the assignment for you guys to submit for Wednesday. I'll do that later on because it's not due till next Wednesday. And what I'll do is I'll put up a slideshow And this time it won't say before and after because you guys know what to do now. And it'll just be a blank page. And then I'm gonna do like a prompt of the question that I'm asking you guys to write out because you're gonna have slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, and then that paragraph about your essential questions and your inquiry. Okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video and I'm gonna help each and every one of you.